That's honey. Good day to everybody in Radio Land. This is Dr. Adamology here on Elevated Voices on Believe Radio. I have a guest with me today. Some of you know her indirectly. Some of you have seen her on TV, and she's also an author. And so I met this young lady a couple of years back. I want to say it was GMWA. It could also have been the Stella Awards. She is a manager. She is from distributor to, she is one of them power players in the gospel industry. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce to some and present to others. And I may say the first name wrong because I don't see too many names that start with a V. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Apostle Vernell Howard. Am I saying that right? Did I do it right?
No. It's like Cheryl with a V. Veryl. You can call
Veryl.
me. Yes, or you can even call me Veryl. Either one. One parent called me one thing and the other one called me something else.
Well, my bad. Don't beat me up.
It's okay. Everybody gets it wrong.
So how you doing?
I'm doing well. Happy to be on here with you tonight. Excited about what God is doing with your ministry. You've been plugging and doing this for a minute. And I'm just grateful to be here with you tonight and just talk about some of the stuff that the Lord has been doing with me. And I thank you for saying that you know this young lady.
Listen, nobody needs to know. Nobody needs to know. You're still 35. You're still 35.
Exactly. Not gonna be older, but just happy to be here with you tonight.
And so you are definitely here in the West Coast, and you're all the way, if I'm not mistaken, let me see if I get this right. Are you in Baltimore?
You close.
New York.
I'm in Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. I was close to Baltimore. I knew it was over there somewhere in the East Coast. Over there in the
Wherever
East
I am, I'm jealous because you're over there in nicer weather. How about that?
Coast. That's true. Yeah, we can't even lie about that. Yeah, it is true. Now, as we start this, a lot of people may not know on my side of the world a lot of things you do. So can you share some of the things that you do to our audience here in the West Coast?
Wow. I consider myself like the Jamaicans. You know, they have 1,000 jobs. But I've been blessed to work with national recording artists for almost 32 years. We were talking about Pastor Dietrich Haddon earlier. I've been working with him for, he probably has 33 albums. And I've been working with him for all 33, as well as many other artists that I represent. Some like Jokia. She's a new song I call Happy, Titus Showers, and a bunch of artists. In addition to that, I've been able to act. I'm in a TV series called Double Cross. We were #1 for 5 years on All Black TV, WeTV, and we're on Tubi as well and Amazon. And I play Diane opposite the man who was Bruce Leroy Green in The Last Dragon. Also been blessed to manage film producers and work with many of them. I have a project that just dropped called I Am She Is Her on Tubi with a film producer I managed by the name of Michael Chin. He and I were the producers of that particular film project. I'm an actress, casting director, and an author. And I'm blessed to be an author. I had a book that went #1 in 24 hours of releasing it within its category. And I believe that's what got me on here tonight. So happy to be here to talk about my book. God, please wake up my Adam. He is in a coma.
Before we hit that, I want to go back to this Tubi piece. It's
Mm-hmm.
a
Documentary film. Yes.
documentary film, and it's called "I Am She" and "She Is Her."
Yes.
What is that about?
I know, right? It's actually a film about women creating a safe space for other women. What we find out sometimes, if women are gatekeepers or in powerful positions, and you have another woman that may be trying to go, come up the ladder, climb up the rope, sometimes they gatekeep and they block women. And so the whole film is some high profile women. Like we have the Attorney General to Governor Westmore. We also have one of the city council members. Her name is Crystal Oriata out of the Maryland area. So we have some very high profile women sharing the what they went through, the trials, the trauma, the journey that they had to try to soar to the heights and depths that they're in. And a lot of them have some stories that you wouldn't believe they went through, as because they are so successful, you would think that they would have turned around and said, you know what, not so, I'm not going to do this. But they kept pressing on, and they want to employ other women not to be a gatekeeper that tries to shut your sister down, but create a safe space and help motivate and elevate her with the connects that you have as a woman.
Because when I saw that, I was like, oh, I wonder what is that about? And actually, that gatekeeping thing, Lord Jesus, that it's a serious thing.
It is. I've been through it.
It's a very, very serious thing. And it's sad that it's even in the church community. It's very sad that it is in the church community. And so, with your involvement in that, what was your solution to the gatekeeping? What was your solution to this particular problem?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not only did I produce it, I'm one of the women that is in it. And I talk about what I have experienced from other women in the entertainment arena. And some of the solutions were we wanted to alert women if they're doing this, check out some of the attributes that are not good attributes that women have that contribute to keeping another sister back. We wanted to encourage women to be a support system one to another, not to be so competitive, not to be a
Mhm.
sabotaging type of
Mhm.
sister, not to be a sister that is jealous of your other sister because she's doing some great things. So we
Mhm.
wanted to give resolutions to the problem of women really trying to restrain other women from reaching the greatness and the height. And this industry that we work in is a tough industry. This entertainment industry is tough. And I've had it happen to me. I've had doors closed. I've had women sabotage. I've had women try to take my clients. I've had women
Mhm.
ill of me, and those are word curses, just trying to hold me back. Women jealous of me, and it's a reality, but it's got to stop. It's got to stop. And I'm an apostle. So this is in the church and out the church. This isn't anything that's just a world thing. Matter of fact, I started experiencing more of this when I got into church.
This is definitely something may have to bring you back and tackle this because it isn't just with the women; it's with the men too.
Mm-hmm.
It's with the men's too, and from the artist side to the musicians to the pastors and the bishops, it's a real situation. And so I like that you all are tackling that. That's actually a real good thing. And so uh, I want to go to this other piece. 'Cause when I saw this title, I said, Lord, what is she trying to say with this? So your new book that is out, it is called, watch this, y'all. God, please wake up my Adam. He is in a coma. Okay, now you're going to have to spend some time and, and unpack this whole thing. So please, where is Adam? Why is he in the coma? Was he in the accident? Because when you say coma, that means he was in the accident. What accident was he in? Well, unpack this for me.
Dr. Adamology, let me tell you something. I'm over 55. Okay. I got white hair for real, for real. I've done marriages as an apostle. I know a lot of single people, and I was asking God one night, what on earth is going on? Why are there so many single, fabulous people? You know, they have great credit, they have great jobs, they don't have they've been detoxed, they don't have a whole bunch of baggage, but yet they can't seem to get married. And so when I was praying, I was interceding off of on behalf of singles. And I was just crying out to God. I said, Lord, even with myself, I don't think I look that bad. I've worked hard to clean myself up, detox myself like Esther. I've worked hard to keep my credit almost to 800. I'm like, what on earth is going on? So the Lord took me to Genesis 2:18, where he told man that he would put him to sleep, that he was going to be his
Mm.
helper, and that being the help me. And so after putting him to sleep, and he said he would form her from his rib, he took woman out, and then man woke up, and then man defined woman. He said, you shall be called bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. And then man gave woman the instructions that God had given him. After all of this happened, after God allowed man to name the birds, the trees, the foxes, the water, the ocean, the rocks. But she woke up. Now, Pastor asked me, how could she be woke and Adam be in a coma? That doesn't make sense. I said, let me help you out. I said, Adam woke up, but he went back in a coma. Now, I'm talking about a spiritual coma. I'm talking about when the spirit of Jezebel tries to get in the way, the spirit of manipulation tries to get in the way, the Delilah spirit that tries to strip the man of his strength. I'm talking about a spiritual coma right now, a spirit of manipulation. I call those women that throw all their morals, their values, and everything out the window, but yet they call themselves saved. I call them thirsty women. Those are the ones that will do whatever, whenever, however to get that man. So that spirit of lust gets in the way. And so what happens is that man becomes comatose by a cloud. It's a demonic cloud that is trying to keep him from really get connected to the person that God will have for him. Because the Bible says, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor. So he got some favor rolling around, and here comes this counterfeit in the way trying to seduce man, to keep man from getting with his favor. And so I employ women in the book. I say, women, listen, you need to be praying futuristically. If you really think you're ready for your man, you need to get on your face and need to pray against that thing that tried to come and comatose your man.
Mm.
You don't need to be sitting there like foolish virgins who's not prepared when he shows up. Your candlestick is not full. You need to make sure that you properly are aligned to be the favor that God has ordained you to be. Women, you need to be maximizing your singleness so when he shows up, you're on the rims and the level you're supposed to be on to fit in that side and to submit and help man fulfill the vision. And so that's how I came up with the book.
This actually sounds like a men's book. Like the men need to hear this because watch this. Because some men don't even know they in a coma.
Huh? What you say?
They don't know, and that's because the dream is so good
Mm,
that they don't even know that they're in a dream, and they
my
haven't
God.
came into reality. So some brothers, y'all in a coma, you need to wake up.
Mm, mm, mm.
And so
I
we can
wrote
stay.
this for men too. I wanted men to be able to identify the state that they're in, but I also wanted women to identify the state that they think they in.
Mm.
And maybe we could get some type of resolution. We could get some illumination with the fact that some type of spirit has tried to keep men sleeping. And instead of a woman twiddling her thumbs like, Lord, when am I going to get married? Is it ever going to happen for me? I just give up. I'm tired. I'm weary. Or I don't need a man. You know, all these
Uh-oh.
cycles and phases a
Uh-oh.
woman goes through. Or maybe she's had some bad relationships in the past and she thinks that everyone is the same. So she needs deliverance. She needs healing. She needs her breakthrough so she can pray him out of that coma so the two of them can come together on one accord and fulfill the purpose as one. Bible says leave, cleave. It's an imprint one to another. So they can be imprinted one to another as one to fulfill that assignment that God has given the man as the visionary for the house.
I'm looking at this title again. and it's saying something without saying something. It says, God, please wake up my Adam. He's in a coma. So, can you elaborate for me just a little bit? Because I don't want to get too heavy because I feel a preach. I feel a both preach on both sides. I feel a preach. So, because some women think they actually can wake up Adam.
Hmm.
But in this title, it says, God, please wake up my Adam, because there is some things only God can do it. Like Renee Winston would say, only God can do it. Only God can do it. And so, can you unpack that? Because there's probably a young lady or a seasoned lady who has a tendency of try to play God
Mm-hmm.
and try to wake up the man, and he's not waking up. And so, can
Mm-hmm.
you unpack that some things is God's level and not your level?
I'm so glad you said that. You're the first person who ever asked me that in any of my interviews. Sometimes people try to force him or wake him up prematurely before he's gone through the process. Instead of giving it over to God, they try to manipulate the situation instead of saying, God, you handle this. Because truth be told, I'm not capable of handling those type of spirits that try to attack a person and put a person in a coma like that, a spiritual coma. But with God and through God, which is why I cried out to God, God could give me the strength and the noble fall to be able to pray for that man. Otherwise, I'm going to do it out of my own ideology. So I might not be praying for what he really needs to snap out of that coma. So if I'm praying against a spirit of Delilah, and that's not really what he's dealing with, then I'm
Mhm.
not properly aligning with what needs to be prayed for to bring him out of that coma. So I gave it over to God. I got tired of trying to do it myself. Been there, done that. I thought somebody was it. God said it wasn't it. Okay.
Mm.
I spent a lot of time right there trying to pray for that. But that wasn't the one that God had for me. So I was trying to manipulate the situation because I was tired, I was weary, I was lonely,
Uh-oh.
and I thought it would never happen for me. I was grieving, I was depressed. I said, Lord, I'm not going to another wedding. I don't want to be around another couple. I don't want to do nothing with couples retreats. I don't want to be the fifth
Oh,
wheel. Okay. So I tried to wake an Adam up that wasn't my Adam. So I didn't have the proper prayers for that Adam.
there's so much you said right there. I can just, because, ladies, you have to know which Adam is yours.
Huh.
Because you looking at Adam, especially if he's married, he don't belong to
Mm,
you.
mm.
I saw him in a vision. No, you didn't.
Oh,
That was a fantasy, not a vision.
my God.
And so, how does, and you being definitely seasoned and you are in ministry, what would you share with the ladies? How can I find my Adam?
Well, first of all, she shouldn't be out there trying to find him. The Bible says, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtain a favor. See, that's the problem right there. She needs to be trying to position herself to be found. You know, if you think about Ruth and Boaz, Ruth was positioned to be found, to be seen by Boaz. And so I think a lot of times that's how we get ourselves in trouble, because we go after what we think we want. Sometimes we go after somebody that has those familiar spirits that we done
Mm.
dealt with in the past. And then we find ourselves in a cycle because we go and try to attract the same type of thing and we fall for it. And then we get in a situation that wasn't of God. He didn't ordain it. He didn't pick it. He didn't select it. So we deal with the repercussions of that because we went out and we tried to be God and try to find the situation. That's out of order. I'm trying to position myself properly. Before I could even be properly positioned, I had to ask God, detox me, cleanse me, take all that old baggage, take those bad thoughts I had, work with my emotions. Because, I was kind of done, doctor. I was done, with relationships and all of that. So in
Mm.
order for me to properly be presented, I had a lot of stuff that had to be pulled out of me. So God took my emotions from one end of the Richter scale to the other. because I had become so cold and so bitter and so tired and so weary till I was just like no emotions, didn't care. I was just going to do me. I was going to hurt somebody before they hurt me. And then God had to cleanse me and bring me back around so I could properly be positioned as the woman he made me to be. So that the proper Adam, typology for Jesus, not the first Adam.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So the proper Adam who's thirsting after the things of the Lord can smell me and know I'm it, because I don't have a stench or the smell of the wrong Adam on me because I've been detoxed.
Okay, ooh, he can smell me and know I'm his.
Mm-hmm.
That is actually a real that's a good one. That's a cause fellas, let me talk to you. If she's smelling like weed, she ain't for you.
Wow.
Cause you trying to be better and you can't be better going backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So the woman that you looking for has a smell.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. That's does she smell like berries and olive oil? Does she smell like a blunt? Okay. Um
Can I add something to that?
go ahead.
You ever been in an elevator and a woman has on a lot of cologne? It's towards the end of the day. I'm just saying. And she gets off the elevator and that cologne lingers, but it doesn't have quite the purified, fresh scent to it because she's had it on all day. She's sweating it. She has walked her job in its whole 9 yards. So it kind of smells stinky nice. I don't know how else to say it.
Talk.
And so sometimes women put on the cologne of another man. They have sweat in it. When I say that, I'm saying the man that they dealt with before they get with their man. They have sweat in it. They've done things in that cologne, the whole 9 yards. And so when they come around that man, because they haven't been detoxed, they smell like that cologne and leave a residue that isn't the most pleasant, but you can tell there's something there that smells
Mhm.
good, but it's so tainted by where it's been. So that man who is the real Adam doesn't identify that smell as the smell he's searching for.
Now this is a book. This is in the scent.
I'm working on one with that. I've
That,
written
that
one. I'm working on it.
I'm gonna leave you alone today because I feel good already. So again, this is a book that you want to tap into, make it into a ladies' night, circle night, book club night. Read this book and watch this as you're reading it with your sister girls, your church girls, all your women group y'all do. You know, ask yourself these questions as you're reading the book with each other, because again, iron sharpens iron, and sometimes you need somebody else to help sharpen you.
Yes.
And so, the book again is called God, Please Wake Up My Adam. He is in a coma. Now, where can people purchase this book?
Well, I've been blessed for the book to be on Amazon. It became a number one bestseller the day it was released in its category, but I'm trying to get it number one across every category. So they can get it there. They can get it on Kindle. Also, they can get it on my website, which is www.verylhowardministries.net. But if you get it from me, I'm going to tell you, please be patient with me because I'm not good at mailing out stuff, but I do promise to write what the Lord tells me to write and send a gift. So those are the three platforms that you can get it on. And I'm eventually going to put it in another language. And
Okay.
I'm thinking about putting it in Braille.
Okay. So, with that being said, if I am a women's ministry or I just want to, pick your brain on your book, how can people get in contact with you?
Oh, wow. Well, they can call Faith Management and Talent, which is 910-644-1824. Also, they can go to any of my sites on IG, TikTok, and Facebook. Everything is under Apostle Veryl, Veryl Howard. I don't think there's too many Veryls, Dr. Adamology. So Apostle Veryl Howard, or they can also call you because you know how to reach me.
Well, that's true. That's true. That's true. And so I want to thank you for coming to Believe Radio on Elevated Voices and sharing this, some of the, what's it called, bullet points and tidbits from your book, because we didn't get the full thing. We didn't get the full thing. You got to get the book to,
Yes.
to read the whole story and tap into this. And so we just want to thank you. And anytime you do anything, just let me know, and we'll have you back at Believe Radio. Is that all right?
Yes, and I thank you so much for those questions. They were thought provoking. And also, I thank Jeremy for working with me and making sure that we connected. And just thank you for allowing I call it your spiritual real estate, your cyberspace real estate. Let me come on, your platform. I really do appreciate it. And I don't take any opportunities like this lightly.
She's talking about Jeremy Glover, who is out of the city of Los Angeles. He is a publicist to the stars. Hold
I
on.
guess I'm a star.
He's a publicist to the stars. He's probably gonna get me when he sees this. He's a publicist to the stars. And so
I made the cut. I made the cut.
you made the cut.
Yeah, I made the cut because you're absolutely right. He has stars. I'm a little tiny star, because I am an actress also. I'm on a TV series, Double Cross, and some BET series. So I made the little cut, but he's such a humble guy, and I try to give him shout outs, and also shout out to, you might know her, Talisha Berry. She wrote the foreword. She's out in Los Angeles. She has Courageous Woman magazine, and she also has Strive Publishing, which is the publishing company that I am a part of. And then Prophetess Anna Stevenson, she's a radio announcer in Miami. She wrote the foreword. It was two of them, and both of them are beautiful and single and in the same predicament I'm in.
Oh.
Yes. Isn't that something?
Y'all, you may have to do a conference.
Okay.
But anyway, again, I want to thank Jeremy, and I want to thank you for coming on to Elevated Voices here at Believe Radio. And so, as we conclude our show on today, I want to thank you all for coming and hanging out with Adamology on today, and hopefully you purchase this book as a community, especially a kingdom in African American. We need to purchase these products from our people, and it helps not only their ministry and the movement that they're doing, but also it empowers you, because you're investing into you. So make sure you purchase this book and you enjoy it. Get your girlfriends together, have these sessions, have these talks, and let's grow together. So again, this is Adamology on Believe Radio, and I. That's